you are a plot owner or a plot developer in Gurugram, then there is some good news for you. The Department of Town and Country Planning has increased the ground coverage for plots. To understand what ground coverage means and how it will impact the end consumer, let's find out in this episode of Property Matters. On May 2022, the District Town and Country Planning Department of Gurugram has amended the ground coverage area ratio for plots of different sizes. The increase in ground coverage area ratio means that the plot owners now will be able to construct staircases, lifts and shafts without compromising on the floor area ratio. A long pending demand by plot owners and developers of the city, this rule is applicable on plots measuring 250, 300, 350, 500 and 1000 square meters.
रेजिडेंशियल प्लॉटेड कॉलोनीज में ग्राउंड कवरेज कम थी तो लोगों ने ये कहा कि जी हमारे जो है ओवरऑल एफएआर अचीव नहीं हो पा रही, तो वो अचीव क्योंकि हो नहीं पा रही थी तो देयर वाज रिक्वेस्ट के ग्राउंड कवरेज को इंक्रीज किया जाए सो दैट एफएआर विच इज़ रिक्वायर्ड टू बी कंज्यूम्ड कैन बी कंज्यूम्ड बाय द डेवलपर्स. सो अकॉर्डिंगली जो है ये 66% जहाँ था वहाँ 75% हमने ग्राउंड कवरेज कर दी है. देयर इज़ नो चेंज इन एफएआर. सो एंड एट द सेम टाइम ग्राउंड कवरेज इंक्रीज करने के साथ साथ हमने ये भी रूल रखा है कि आप सेटबैक्स बिल्कुल क्लियर रखोगे. देयर विल नॉट बी एनी प्रोजेक्शन विच शैल बी अलाउड विद इन द सेटबैक एरिया. सो अगर कोई ग्राउंड कवरेज बढ़ा रहा है अपनी एफएआर इंक्रीज करेगा तो वो सेटबैक्स में कोई भी प्रोजेक्शन उसको अलाउड नहीं होगी.
Let's first understand what does ground coverage mean. The built-up area at ground level is known as a ground coverage area. This means the ground level immediately above the plinth and does not include chhajjas. It is calculated and stated in percentage.
Ideally just means the amount of ground that is covered on the plot. So whatever is the maximum built-up area at any floor, if you divide that by the overall plot area and convert it into a percentage, that's ground coverage area for you. For example, if your plot area is 100, and if your ground coverage, that is the maximum built-up area of any floor, is 60. So 60 by 100, 60% is the ground coverage area. So what was happening is there were a lot of amenities like lifts, escalators and floors which were not included in the FAR. So what used to happen is the plot developers used to violate some norms and there was unauthorized construction because the aim was to increase the usable area. So I think Haryana government had been pondering over this for quite some time.
Before this amendment, all plots were constructed on the low ground coverage area, because of which developer or plot owners had to leave a space for a shaft. For example, for 250 square meter plot size is developed basis 265% floor area ratio, which means each floor was developed basis 66%, because of which plot owners could not fully use the area and had to leave a space for a shaft or a cutout. But in most of the cases, they have violated the norms by constructing illegal structures such as staircases, covering of shafts, building servant rooms, lifts, etc. to cover the maximum area in a building.
DTCP का एनफोर्समेंट डिपार्टमेंट का था कंसर्न, ये वायलेशन को लेके था. जो हमारी जो एसोसिएशन है गुड़गांव होम डेवलपर्स, उसने ये रोल प्ले किया कि हम वायलेशन के खिलाफ थे. सो इससे अगर ये एरिया का इंक्रीमेंट हुआ, स्टेयरकेस, लिफ्ट इन्होंने फ्री किया, कुछ परसेंटेज बढ़ी, सो छोटे प्लॉट्स को बेनिफिट मिलेगा तो वो वायलेशन नहीं करेंगे. एंड दूसरा, जो नीचे 20 स्क्वायर मीटर का इन्होंने एरिया दिया, उसमें ये एक ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड्स था कि जो बाहर से आते हैं, एक किस्म से वेटिंग एरिया भी ज़रूरत थी. एक चौकीदार रह सकता है जस्ट टू टेक केयर ऑफ द बिल्डिंग. इसका जो मेन बेनिफिट है ना वो यही है कि इलीगल एक्टिविटीज़ कम हुई. लेआउट में कोई खास चेंज नहीं आएगा.
Now, with the increase in ground coverage area, plot owners will be able to develop amenities and facilities without compromising on the floor area ratio. As a result, the plot owners will be able to develop lifts, staircases, etc. as per their preferences. This will help in reducing the unauthorized and unsafe construction on the plots.
तो किसी ने ड्राइवर रूम बनाना है या कोई उनका से सर्वेंट रूम रखना है तो वो रख सकते हैं 20 स्क्वायर मीटर विद इन द एरिया वेयर इट वाज कंसिडर्ड कि पार्किंग यूज़ नहीं हो पाएगी। मैं तो यही कहूँगा आपके माध्यम से कि ये पॉलिसी पैरामीटर्स जो भी है हम जनता के हित में सरकार ने और डायरेक्टर जनरल ने लेकर आए हैं। फॉलो द पॉलिसी पैरामीटर्स और ग्रीड ख़त्म करें और अच्छा जो है स्ट्रक्चर बनाएं और सेफ स्ट्रक्चर बनाएं। आज की डेट में ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि जो मटेरियल भी यूज़ कर रहे हैं इस पर भी, क्योंकि सरकार जो है डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर गाइडलाइंस बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम, तो उसको बिल्कुल स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो करें। जिसने हार्ड अर्न मनी लगाया है उसको एक सेफ स्ट्रक्चर भी मिलना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
So what are the amendments? Now let's look at what the permissible FAR on these plots. If the developer or plot owner still violates the norm, DTCP stated that there will be no penalties but a strict action will be taken.
पेनल्टी प्रोविजन का मतलब ये है कि हम उसको कंपाउंड कर देंगे। जब हमने 75% ग्राउंड कवरेज इंक्रीज कर दी, सेटबैक्स को क्लियर छोड़ने के लिए कह दिया, तो एनी वायलेशन अगेंस्ट दिस पॉलिसी विल बी नॉन कंपाउंडेबल। नॉन कंपाउंडेबल मतलब वो अल्टीमेटली डिमोलिश ही होगा या सीलिंग होगी।
But are these new norms are applicable on already constructed properties?
ये नहीं हो सकता कि जी कुछ पार्ट आप पुरानी पॉलिसी में ले लो, कुछ नहीं में ले लो। सो इधर दे हैव टू कम इनटू द न्यू पॉलिसी पैरामीटर्स और दे हैव टू फॉलो द ओल्ड पॉलिसी पैरामीटर्स।
Plot owners have to follow the new policy parameters. In case a developer or a owner want his or her property or plotted development to be included under the new norms, then they will have to redevelop.
It will lead to a good organized development of plots. So plotted developments have been prominent not only in the north but across India. With this change in your ground coverage area and FAR norms, I think plotted developments will be in much more demand.
Though developers and experts are hailing the decision and are hopeful that it will impact the real estate industry, the architect community are saying that it will impact the designing on homes adversely and on overall infrastructure and won't bring down illegal construction.
There is a very small hidden line behind this ground coverage increase. The total FAR has not been increased. So the total built up area on a plot remains the same. So there won't be much of difference in terms of design. But the total ground coverage which has increased will cause initially in past the staircase shaft and the lift shaft area was not being utilized in the FAR. But now that can be utilized in the FAR. Community is not very happy with this decision because this is going to reduce the setbacks. Initially the setback used to be much higher. Say for example a 250 square meter plot used to have a setback of 3 meters, now it is 2 meters. So that means lesser ventilation, lesser open areas. These constant changes in the bylaws are not very much appreciated by our association, Indian Institute of Architects, because they have killed the lifestyle of the plotted development. Plotted development was meant for a particular total number of users. That used to be 12 per plot. Now that has increased to 20 users per plot, and the total amenities remains the same. The result is no electricity, no proper sewage, no proper water supply. That is directly related to the total ground coverage. Government is giving this ground coverage just to cover up the violations done by the people. Now what is going to happen? People will do more.
The move by DTCP is taken as a positive way of dealing illegal constructions related issues in the city. With the approach, unauthorized construction in plotted areas will come down and will also lead to smooth functioning in plot construction. But will it impact the property prices of plots or will give push to plotted development? For that to see, one will have to wait and watch. I hope you like this video. If you have any query on the subject or about Gurgaon real estate market, you can write to me in the comment section below this video. Do like and share this video, and to watch more such shows, do subscribe to MBTV. With cameraman Lokendra Pandey, this is Neha Nagpa signing off.